You know what really irritates me? Every time you turn on the TV or look on your computer, there's always some manufacturer saying, hey, look, here's our newest version of a cell phone. Forget that one you bought last year. That's the old stuff. You need the new stuff. It does things marginally better and it costs more, and we, the company, make more money if you're dumb enough to buy it. That's essentially what every cell phone ad is these days. So I have made a special video for you today. We're doing it right now. This is the history of every cell phone I have ever had in my entire life. And here they are. 4. I've had 4 cell phones over about 15 years. And I'm going to tell you about each one. First is the good old-fashioned Verizon VX8300 flip phone. I got this in 2006, and it still works. It's on the old 1X/2G CDMA network. So I don't know if I'd get a connection with it anywhere, but it still works. All the time I had it, I never changed the screen on it, the picture. Now, a little lesson in durability for you. I always tap on things. I did this a lot with this phone. Never had a problem. One time, I believe it was in the winter of 2008, I dropped this phone in a puddle of icy water, and it stayed there overnight. The person next door found it the next day and said, hey, is this your phone? Said, yeah. And it had a little crack in the screen, the glass over top of the screen right here. And after I fixed it, one of the buttons in the front never worked again, but I never used these buttons in the first place. So I took it home. I took it completely apart, every little bit and piece, which wasn't hard to do. I cleaned everything out, dried it off, soaked it with isopropyl alcohol, blew it with an air compressor to get the air out of it, and put it in front of a fan for a couple days. And then I put it all back together, put the battery in, and it worked. Now that first battery, it did get hot in the back, and it burned through that first battery pretty quickly. But after that, it was fine. And I used it for years afterwards. And it still works. I mean, I don't know if I'd get it on a carrier now, but you could do things with it. And this, unlike new phones today, you could change the battery. I went on eBay and I bought a battery for it. Easily replaceable. And after a while, I said, you know what? I need a little bit newer, bigger, better phone. So it was in about, what was it here? It was sometime in 2011, I forget when, I bought an iPhone 4. This has been my only Apple product that I've ever bought in my life. And it will be the only Apple product I ever bought in my life. That's a different show. You'll see that sometime. I bought this case on eBay for about $6 because Apple was ridiculous even back then with, oh, we need $30 for a case. No, $6 for a case on eBay. And this plastic is degrading. It's getting old and sticky. And this is a 3G phone, I believe. And it still works too. I had to charge the battery a little bit to turn it on for this. But it works. And now this was at the time when all the manufacturers were rushing to make the smallest cell phone they could. It's thinner, it's lighter, it's tinier. And that was why you should buy our new product, not to increase our corporate profit, but to have a smaller, thinner, lighter cell phone. All right, whatever. And after the iPhone 4, things started turning around and going bigger again. And now, today, you can have a cell phone that's almost a tablet computer with these new flip folding screens. I hate this folding screen idea because making the screen have to flex and bend. That's just asking for trouble. The first ones that came out about a year ago, they were failing all over the place. And for what? $1,500? No, not me. So eventually, I want a little bigger screen to play games on and do things with. So in the summer of 14, I got my Samsung Galaxy S5. And I had this cell phone for about 4.5 years. Did a lot with it. I got this at a Best Buy, and it is one of the ones, only you probably can't see it here, it has the gold colored backplate on it. Only available through Best Buy purchases. And again, $6, eBay, cell phone case, all I ever needed. No problem at all. And this was, I think it was a 4G phone. And it worked great for a long time. And I'd still be using it. But I started having a problem with the memory. After about 4.5 years, I would randomly lose photo files. I would hook up to my computer, transfer photos to my computer, and they would kind of get there. Some of them would get there. I would try to take a folder of photos from my computer and transfer it back to the phone, and they would just never show up. And so because, even though the phone still works, because of the memory problems, I quit using it. My S5. And so I went up to the Galaxy S9 Plus after that. I got this in the summer of 19, and it's been a good phone. Only problem I've had with it was the screen has the curve on the end of it, and my screen protector would kind of pop off easily. So after fighting with that for a few months, one day the screen protector was getting too dirty. I couldn't put it back on. So I've had it with no screen protector now for over a year, and somehow it hasn't gotten hurt. It's been great ever since. I think this is a 5.7 screen, I forget. But this is my point I'm trying to make. I bought these phones when the newer one was coming out. I believe at the time the S6 Galaxy was coming out soon, so I got an S5 because it was cheaper. When I bought my S9 Plus, the S10 was already available and more money. So I'll get a little bit older version and save some money. And for the longest time, not just in cell phones, but in computers and things, it's always really bothered me about when the new version of something comes out. Because you'll read a report on, say, for example, this phone, when it was brand new. It's so much better than the last one. It's great. It's better, faster, more powerful, the best cell phone you can get. And then the S10 comes out, and the S9, that's that old phone. You don't want that old thing. Now, hold on a minute here. Whoa, hold it. A year ago, this was the greatest phone ever. And now it's junk just because the new version come out? No, I don't think that's a good reason for me to spend more money on something that I don't think is a whole lot better. So that, let me put these back together now for you. That is the history of my cell phones. That's all I've ever needed. That's all I've ever had. And that's all I'm ever going to get. I mean, I'll get a new one when this S9 eventually has problems in a few years. But look at that. Nice little stack. That's all you need. You don't need the the Apple 4 and the Apple 5 and the Apple 6 and the Apple 7. You don't have to have every single newest phone ever. All that is doing is making the companies rich, and you're the sucker for giving them your money for it just because they said it was better. What's wrong with your old phone? It's been working fine for a while. Let me check the comments here. Only one. Fellow R. Sir. Tim, what's up? While you're watching the video here, I'm making a cell phone episode video. So when you go out to get a cell phone, get the one that's the older version, not the brand new version, the one that was the previous generation. It'll work fine for you and you'll save money. And then if say for example, in the case of my S9 is fine. And then the S10 came out. And then one thing Samsung did that I did not like, they did not go to the S11, S12. They skipped the whole big jump from S10 to the S20. I don't like how they skip the numbers. They should go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What do you do? S20, S30, S40, S50 now? No, I don't like that numbering system. So Don't buy the newest, hottest cell phone because it ain't that much better. And over the last 4 or 5 years, there really isn't that much room for cell phones to get better. They've got a lot enough they have enough memory in them. They have enough power and speed and camera. And this whole 5G thing that's coming out now, I don't care about 5G. 4G is fine. I watch streaming YouTube videos on 4G with no problem at all. I've heard about health problems coming from 5G. At least the microwave radiation or some such thing of it. You know, they're hiding the stories because they don't want you to hear that their new technology might be a problem. But this whole 5G thing, you don't need no 5G. You're fine on 4G, no problem at all. And it's not even widely available yet because the carriers have to spend a whole lot of money to put the new 5G equipment everywhere. And they're not going to do it until they're sure there's a market for it. So, you know, a 4G phone today is fine. You get 3, 4, 5 years out of it, no problem. So that's the history of my cell phones. And like and subscribe and comment and whatever.